Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans. Wherever you are watching or you are going to watch this very program any time of the day, be it night or morning, depends on your location. I encourage you to share this very program, including those zombies, the people that can never be able to reason with their common senses. I want you to share this very program to them and invite them, because I remember just a few days ago when I made this very post on my platform, I know a lot of negative comments that are pumping in. And what we are here today to do is to see if we can be able to open your dumb head so that you can be able to reason. After this very program, if you cannot be able to reason, that means you are gone forever. Believe me honestly. After this very program, and you cannot be able to reason, that means you are gone forever. And like I always said, whatever that I said or talked about, there is always an evidence to back it up. After this very program, go back to the comment section where you made your negative comments for you to see how you displayed your stupidity. And we are here today in order to make sure that you can be able to see, maybe recollect your sense of reasoning and be able to understand that what we are doing, the Biafra restoration that we are looking for, it is ordained and spiritual. Anybody who is fighting this very movement, you are doomed forever, because the struggle itself is going to split you out. That is why we have come here today, not only to place the Biafrans on notice, but also to send a very strong message to Simon Epka, Madam AZUKA, her husband Charles Nwankwo, and co. Now, I want you to look at this very message. Let us read it for a moment. Then, before we begin to present to you the evidences that we have, and then we give our official statement. It says, imminent war within Eastern Security Network looming under the watch of Simon Epka, Madam AZUKA Charlesnwankwo, and others. And on a notice for a position that is coming up against this threat. And for the record, nothing should happen to Ebonyi State Eastern Security Network Commander. I am going to present to you a voice note of Simon Epka. A voice note of Simon Epka threatening a gallant man, an Eastern Security Network Commander of Ebonyi State, so that you can be able to hear for yourself. And I want you to cut this very portion to send to him, so that we can see how he can be able to defend himself or to counter this very fact. Moreover, to try to deny that this is not his voice. Just like that one of South Africa that called and said, abandon Mazi and the canon and raise one Nigeria. We are not here to joke. What we are here to do is to make sure that we do everything humanly possible so that Biafra can be restored. Without taking much of your time, I want you to pay very good attention to listen to this. Pay very good attention and listen to this.
My name is still remembers Chineke. The voice note that you are about to hear is the voice note of Simon Epka, threatening a gallant man in the presence of other commanders on a meeting that they had. So that is to say that whenever you see a voice note of a fellow commander threatening you, in this case, we are talking about the Eastern Security Network commander of Ebonyi State. The person that is gingering it is Simon Epka and Madam AZUKA, because the very fund that meant for you and your fellow colleague of Eastern Security Network, that both of you sworn an oath in order to protect Biafra land, that money is now being used as a weapon against you, manipulating you to turn against each and every one of you so that you can begin to fight and kill yourself. This very voice note, it is going to debunk every lie that Simon Epka on his platform claiming that if anybody is saying that there is imminent war between the Eastern Security Network and Biafra land, that person is telling lies. On this very voice note, you are going to hear Simon Epka's voice on this threat. Listen.
You know, this is not the first time you did this. And how we are going to handle this issue is something that is in my mind and is something that's in my heart. I have given directive.
He has given directive to one of the commanders in this very meeting, and also another commander that is not in this very meeting, both of them to go to Ebonyi State and disarm the Eastern Security Network of Ebonyi State commander. Listen.
Because they need it to work. So when you come to pick it, just please give it to him. Do you have a problem with that?
You can hear the question that he asked him if he has a problem surrounding his equipment in his position, that he's supposed to use that to protect himself. And he responded to Simon Epka and said that he has a problem with that because immediately Simon Epka interrupted him and said, "What is the problem that you have?" And the commander responded and said to him that I told you that I want to use it to protect our side, our area, because of more attacks.
And I'm telling you now that work should be put on hold. There is another emergency work that is needed for, and that's a command. So you should put on hold that work that you want to go should be put on hold. And after this work, we can talk about that.
And then the commander of Ebonyi State responded and said to him, "Sir, it will be difficult for me because I will not lie to you, more especially now that we have an attack." And then Simon Epka interrupted him again and said, what is going to be difficult for you? I want you to listen so that you will not say that Mazi Odinkema is making this up. You will not say that Mazi Odinkema is cutting and joining. Because what we are here to do is to naked the truth for people and Biafran to hear that Simon Epka is causing imminent war against the Eastern Security Network, using the ESN fund that every Biafrans are contributing to make sure that our land are being protected, he uses this money as a weapon against the ESN, undercutting the command structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he himself said that he is a disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Listen, so that you will not say that I'm making it up. Where we are is where Simon Eber said, what is going to be difficult for you? I want you to listen to yourself.
What is going to be difficult to you?
You listen to that, right? And the commander responded and said, I told you that I want to use it to protect our area, our side, because of more attack. And then again, Simon Eber interrupted again and said, and I'm telling you now that your area should be put on hold. There is a better and there is another emergency work that is needed to be done. This is a person that is leading fundraising every 2 weeks, started from every month, now every 2 weeks, fundraising, using that money as a weapon against the Eastern Security Network. As God uses me to expose the DOS, Chinas and Woru, and uses Simon Ekpa to finish the job, so also I am going to use the truth to expose the atrocities Simon Ekpa is committing in Biafra land.
And I'm telling you, I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time.
Do you listen to that? We are coming. You are going to listen more of Simon Ekpa's voice.
I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. And I'm telling you, I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. I gave you that one. I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. I gave you that command. And I'm telling you now that command is now suspended.
The commander of Ebonyi State Eastern Security Network responded again and said, it will be difficult for us to protect our land, our area, sir. Now listen to what Simon Ekpa said.
If you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because
Let me play that again. Maybe some of you are deaf, or maybe you don't understand with a word of English or word of threatening. And like I said, this very meeting, there were other commanders. So whenever you see a voice note coming from a gallant man or gallant man of the Eastern Security Network threatening a fellow gallant man or gallant man, this is where it started. Let me rewind that again so that you can be able to hear.
if you go against this command, if you go against this command, listen because I'm.
Did you listen to that? Let me take it.
If you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take for this community. Because I'm.
Did you listen to that? Let me take it back again.
If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take for this community. Because I'm making this publicly here in front of every commander here.
Did you listen to that? He is making this public in front of every commanders here. Maybe some of you are deaf. Maybe some of you nte chilono. Onada amizive. Monada nuzo yibo. Mobe ejive foche onunte. If you go against this command, Simon Epka is planning to disarm a whole state commander of ESN Security Network.
I hope that you have already listened to this very exposition of Simon Epka voice. Now, I couldn't take the risk in order to play the voice of this very commander that he hasn't or threatening in the presence of other commanders, but I took my time to extract the message, the whole message. And I'm going to read it. I am going to read it so that you can be able to understand and see maybe your stupidity or your brain. You can be able to start to be reasoning very well and know exactly what is going on. We are making fundraising every month, sometimes 2 times in a month, right? And there was a genuine complaint that men are not getting what they're supposed to be getting. And a group called Think Tank Group, Fact Finders, they have to consult. They were contacted by these gallant men, and they had a meeting. And in this meeting, according to the report from this very commander, that is telling Simon exactly what happened in that very fact-finding meeting, the reason why the meeting was called. And he said, I decided to join because they say that other commanders are there and I need to be there also. So I came in and I saw some commanders in the meeting. What they were asking was, how are we being managing? I'm now reading the extracted messages from this very voice note that you just heard now. And all of the commanders were telling and complaining what they are lacking. They demanded to know those things. The fact finders group demanded to know those things that we are lacking. And that's the major thing that they discussed. They promised us that this meeting that was held today, that we are going to invite you, Simon, to lay this very complaint that they have gathered so far. They say that they are fact-finding panels. And they are going to communicate with you, Mazi Simon Epka, to tell you what they have found out, so that you people are going to look into it and that they are going to work on it because they are working with you. He went on to say that, so that is the reason why I intended the meeting. He said, my phone went off immediately after the meeting, and I was communicating with my small phone because two of my squad went to work yesterday when we were having an attack. And on that attack, we have some casualty, which I reported to you, Mazi Simon, immediately around 2 a.m. midnight, because that was when the incident happened. So since that yesterday till now, I was very busy because most of my men was killed on that attack on the course of defending our land. I have to squeeze out my time to attend this very meeting because I also got a notification of this very meeting that we are attending today. And most of the people that was killed on that attack, we are preparing to go and see their family. The commander of Ebonyi State giving this report or reminding Simon Ekpa what he had already told him about the attack that they received and the man that was killed. Now, Simon Ekpa responded. I want you to pay attention to his response. He said, Commander, I'm not going to mention his name here. He said, Commander, you know, this is not the first time you did this. And what and how we are going to handle this very issue is something that is in my mind and something that is in my heart. I have given directive to another commander named Withheld. I'm not going to mention the name here. The complete voice note of this very conversation, everything was there. But I'm not going to mention the name of those commanders. I repeat. He said, Commander, you know, this is not the first time you did this. And then what and how we are going to handle this issue is something that is in my mind and something that is in my heart. I have given directive to another commanders here and another commander that is not here with us in this very meeting to come and pick those equipments that is in your position because they need it to go to work. Let me pause it here for a moment. We are doing fundraising here and there, right? And let us assume, or let's just make this a little bit analysis. You came online to boast to the Biafrans that our men are ready, our men are eager to go, that they have everything, they have all the capacity to protect our land. Let us assume that actually they want to borrow the equipment from another state to go to another state in order to protect our land in that area. Let us assume. And this very state where they want to borrow this very equipment, which is in Ebonyi State, already have an attack. And this attack was reported to Simon Ekpa as of yesterday, around 12 midnight, just about in the next 1 hour right now, because the time right now is about 17 minutes after 11 p.m. We are still operating on the same time with the Zoo Nigeria or Biafra land. Immediately that attack was done, they received that attack. They have to report to Simon Ekpa immediately at about 12 midnight. And now Simon is now telling a gallant man that for them to release their equipment, which of course he wants to disarm him so that he can be able to be vulnerable for the attack that is coming to him. You heard the voice note. You heard the threatening. It is not me saying it. I'm not making it up. You know what I'm saying now? I'm not making it up. You can now see the hypocrisy in this very movement that some people are taking advantage using the money that the Biafrans contributed as a weapon against the Biafran Eastern Security Network. Using this money to corrupt them, using this money to bribe them, using this money to turn each and every one of them against them. Because he wants to be in command. Let me take it back again to the response. After the complaint that this Gallant man complained to him, reminded him about attack that happened as of yesterday, according to him, that he had to squeeze out his time to attend this very meeting. And Simon said, Commander, name withheld. You know, this is not the first time you did this. And what and how we are going to handle this very issue is something that is in my mind and something that is in my heart. Of course, to eliminate him. But let us continue. I have given directive to another commander whom is in this very meeting and another commander that is not in this very meeting for them to come to you and collect those equipment because they need it to work. So when they come to pick those things, give it to them. Do you have a problem with that? This is the question. And the commander of Ebonyi State responded to him and said, yes, I have a problem with that. And he interrupted him immediately. Simon Epka interrupted him immediately, just like how he used to do. He never allowed people to, when people even call on his program and want to make a valid point, he never allowed them to speak. He never allowed them to talk. He always tried to interrupt them so that they can be able, so that he can be able to overshadow them. This is exactly what happened here. He have to, and he asked him a question. Do you have any problem with that? And he want to express himself to tell him that the attack that they just received as of that yesterday, they need to get themselves prepared. They need to protect themselves. And he is now telling him to surrender his equipment to another commanders that they want to use it to go and work. And you have to interrupt him immediately, like I said, and said, and I told you, and I'm telling you now, that your area should be put on hold. Even though the commander told him that he wants to use those equipment to protect their area in Biafra land, in their own state, where he is a commander. Simon told him that that very area should be put on hold, that there is a better and there is another emergency work that is needed to be done. And he said, this is an order. Mazi they can never give order to our gallant men. Eastern Security Network is an independent organization. What he asks us to do is to do what? Is to support these men, fund them. They know how to do their very work very well. And that takes me back. I'm going to continue what I'm reading. Of course, you've already listened to the voice note. So just to make sure that I bring out every point here and just make a little bit analysis before I come to a closing remark of this very program. It takes me back to one of the advice that I gave him when we are together. I told him that these men, you don't need to give them command directly. What needs to be done is to make sure that there is somebody, a commander that will be assigned to be listening to your broadcast whenever you are making analysis. His job or her job or their job is to always have their pen and paper. Whenever you are making broadcast, Their work is to make sure that they are jotting the main point that you are making through your analysis. With these gallant men that have been assigned on this very duty to bring out points that you are making through your analysis, I am telling Biafrans, you also say now, because the reason why I'm saying this is because Mazi they can never give order to gallant men. He never give order to gallant men. Fund them. They know what to do. That is the reason why there is a division of labor. A division of labor, it makes it easier that the burden will not be too much for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I said to him, with this idea that I brought in, and these individuals that have been assigned from the gallant men, from the volunteer, they will also be in a group where we, the stakeholders, are presenting those points. As they are presenting those points, it now shows us that he or she or they are doing their work. Now, with this analysis, they will now be presenting it to their various units for them to use their number system and do work. Our own job is to make sure that we propagate the gospel, encourage our people to do what? To fund Eastern Security Network. At the same time, those points that is bringing out from these points that these assigned gallant man or volunteer to be bringing out this very point, we also in the media can also be using those as a reference. You also say now to be reminding Biafrans what have been said. And this is one of the reasons why that I make sure that there is a voice of Biafra 97.5 FM or the entire Biafra land. I want you to be getting this point because some of you are deaf. Some of you cannot be able to reason. Some of you cannot be able to reason. Some of you are zombies. I'm not talking about the reasonable people. I am talking about the people that are zombie. Oh, when they pay very good attention, because we are here to naked the truth. We are here to naked the truth so you can be able to see it. You can be able to see it. He responded and said, it will be difficult for us to protect our area, sir, if we hand it over. It is going to be difficult to defend our land, to defend our area, to defend our state if we hand it over, because recently we just got an attack. And we are making fundraising. So the question that some of you zombies are going to be asking yourself, all those bragging that our men are getting everything that they need, I am going to tell you on my closing remark, I am going to tell you where those monies are going to. Now, Simon Epka responded to the commander and said, if you go against this very command, listen to me. If you go against this very command, I hope that you are ready to face what is coming for you. So whenever you see a voice note flying around, a fellow comrade or gallant man threatening a fellow gallant man, or some of these zombies that are going to watch this or are watching this very program right now, commenting some negative stuff, you should be ashamed yourself that from this very moment, anytime that you comment any negative something on my platform, then mark yourself as a zombie forever. Because I stand for the truth. I don't worship human being. I worship the truth. The reason why I'm following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for the truth. Speak the truth at all time. Speak the truth at all time. Let me respond to Lincoln. Simon Epka responded to the commander of Ebonyi State and said, if you go against this very command, listen to me. If you go against this very command, I hope that you are ready to face what is coming for you. I hope that Now, when somebody tell you that, if anybody is telling you that there is an imminent war coming in Biafra land within the ESN, that person don't know what he or she is talking about. So the question you're going to ask yourself is this: who is deceiving who? Because whatever I do, once I'm doing it, I'm going to be showing you the proof. Whatever that I'm doing, I will be doing it and I will be showing you the proof. Somebody come out and tell you that there is imminent war within the Eastern Security looming under the watch of Simon Epka, Madam AZUKA CHARLESNWANKWO, and her husband Charles Nwankwo and co. You should on your notification for exposition against this very threat. And for this record, nothing should happen to the Ebonyi State Eastern Security Network Commander. So who is the food here? Kedu onye bụ ewu ebe anụ a? Ya nga bụ ajụjụ na-emegene na ajụgo. Ya nga bụ ajụjụ na ajụgo. Ya nga bụ ajụjụ na ajụgo. Let me repeat it again. Maybe you are deaf. Maybe you are deaf. Let me repeat it again. Let me repeat it again. Simon Epka said, if you go against this very command, listen to me. If you go against this very command, I hope that you are ready to face what is coming for you. I hope that you are ready to face what is coming to you. Did you hear that? Good. Oh my God. Oh my God. He said, because I am making this very public here in front of every commanders. I gave you a command and I'm telling you now that that command is to be suspended. Those equipment with you and directing 2 commanders to take those equipment in your position. Later, we can talk if I have to hand them over to you back again or not. So, if you want, disobey this very command. But I want to make this very clear in front of every commanders here in this very meeting, that this is my stand. I want to encourage every commanders that from today, that they should hunt you down. I am telling these very commanders here that from today, that any way they see you, they should gun you down. I am telling this very, and now somebody is telling you that there is imminent war looming within the Eastern Security Network. And all you do is to be commenting negative. And let me use this to tell the Biafrans, as you are getting this very exposition, contributing in the hand of Simon Epka, know it that you are sponsoring those that he been able to use the ESN fund to corrupt. Know it. Know it that you are sponsoring, you are also sponsoring this very, because unless you don't get this very truth, unless you don't get this very fact, then you don't know what you are doing. But as long as this very message gets to you, as long as this very message gets to you, and you are still doing that, and that is why we are putting him on a notice. We are putting him on a notice, telling Biafran, putting Biafrans on a notice what is going on. You know what I'm saying now? Telling Biafrans what is going on. Simon Epka said, if you go against this very command, listen to me, if you go against this very command, I hope that you are ready to face what is coming for you, because I am making this public here in front of every commanders here. I gave you a command and I'm telling you now that that command to be suspended. those equipment with you. I'm directing 2 commanders to take those equipment in your position. Later, we can talk if I have to hand them over to you, those equipment, or not. Is that very clear? So, if you want, disobey this very command, and I want to make this very clear in front of everybody here. So, I have given your numbers to those commanders, so they will communicate with you, and you know they will facilitate how to collect those things. So both commanders will communicate with you. Those commanders will communicate with you. Is that clear? Is that clear? Like I said, all the voice notes I cannot be able to pay because it is a conversation between the Eastern Security Network, Ebonyi State Commander, and Simon Epka. I have to take my time to make sure that I bring some part of Simon Epka voice so that some of you zombies can be able to understand this very message. Now also, this message, this very one is like a coded message that goes to you, Simon Epka. What is the meaning of Group A, Group B, Group C? This is the question to Simon Epka. Only him, Madam AZUKA, and some few other people in that very meeting that we had about the Eastern Security Network organized on this new reform can be able to understand this. And also, what is the meaning of green, yellow, and red? This is a question that goes to you directly. Now, on these very notes, this is an official message because today's date is the 22nd of March, 2023. And we are here putting Biafrans all over the world on notice that Mazi Simon Epka and Mazi Charlesnwankwo, and also Madam AZUKA Charlesnwankwo, both of them are hereby put on notice to desist from your directly threatening Eastern Security Network commanders with attacks on their camps and threatening to expose their camps. Number 2, withholding Eastern Security Network fund given to both of you by Biafrans, using these funds as a weapon against Eastern Security Network to do things against their will. That is to say that most of these commanders, you can see their messages flying around. It is because they are being used, they use this very money in order to corrupt them. So that means to say that whatever they are doing it, those things under manipulation of AZUKA Charlesnwankwo and also Simon Epka. Number 3, you must stop flashing Biafran faces on names and location on social media, because doing so is encouraging or suggesting that Nigerian DSS agent to arrest or kidnap our people. Number 4, sending your lapdog. You know who your lapdog is? The one that came from the same village with you. You know whom he is? Because he is the one that you made your overall general commander of Eastern Security Network, going about sending threatening messages on your behalf. Gallant men on ground. Number 5, instigating conflict within Eastern Security Network by bribing men to disobey their state commander in order to weaken the commanders of the state. Just like this issue of the Eastern Security Network commander of Ebonyi State, using the same fund that Biafran donated to be bribing their unit commanders in order to weaken the state commander. That is why you can be able to see that he can be able to be boldly threatening a state commander to only do by himself, put there to protect our land. You know what I'm saying now? Number 6, instigating the gallant men you have corrupted with money that Biafrans have donated to attack and intimidate their fellow comrades of commanders, which is going to instigate a civil war within Eastern Security Network, and ESN cannot survive this very war. And all this mentioned above ultimately will render Biafran land defenseless if you don't stop. This is the message that I have for you, and the advice that I'm giving to you: focus on your media, focus on your exposition, because the grades that you have before, you have lowered that very grade to 80%. If at all, you still have 20% grace in you. If you have 80% grace, now you have lowered it to 20%. So my advice to you is to make sure that you use this very 20% grace that you still have in you to do what? To focus on the media. Focus on the media. Do your work on the media against the Nigerian government. But the way that you are going, your downfall is very near. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, despite the fact the billions of dollars that the Nigerian government have used to bribe every media outlet out there in the whole world, to make sure that no single news or negative news against the Zoo Nigerian government can be able to fly out there. That is the reason why Al Jazeera, CNN, etc., cannot be able to report anything or any negative thing that is coming out from Nigeria. But with a single microphone, 2 laptops, and few smartphones, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can be able to dismiss a naked Nigerian government. Today, everybody have seen it. Truth will always sing to the ears of the people that want to listen. Those zombies, those efulefus that we still have in this very movement, those psychophants, their eyes will open, but some of them, maybe their head will follow you to go to grave. Maybe their head will follow you, because a lot of them are diehard, that no matter whatever that happens, no matter, even if you go to Poto Poto, they are going to follow you to go to Poto Poto. If you decide to dance naked in the market, they are ready to follow you to dance naked in the market. But those of you that still have a little bit reasoning with this very exposition, listen to it again. I'm going to end this very program very, very, very shortly, so that I can go back again to listen to this very message again and again, and tell me if this voice that you hear is not the voice of Simon Epka. You tell me if this voice is not the voice of Simon Epka. That is a question that I want to ask you, because as we are doing this very struggle, making sure that we liberate the mindset of our people, so also we are also doing everything humanly possible, sure that our people are being sanitized, to follow the truth, and know that when Biafra come, we are not going to come out from Nigerian contraption mentality in order to move again back to the same contraption. It is not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible. Listen to this again, then we call it a day.
My name is still Mazi. The voice note that you are about to hear is the voice note of Simon Epka, threatening a gallant man in the presence of other commanders on a meeting that they had. So that is to say that whenever you see a voice note of a fellow commander threatening you, in this case, we are talking about the Eastern Security Network commander of Ebonyi State. The person that is gingering it is Simon Epka and Madam AZUKA. because the very fund that meant for you and your fellow colleague of Eastern Security Network, that both of you sworn an oath in order to protect Biafra land, that money is now being used as a weapon against you, manipulating you to turn against each and every one of you so that you can begin to fight and kill yourself. This very voice note, it is going to debunk every lie that Simon Epka on his platform claiming that if anybody is saying that there is imminent war between the Eastern Security Network and Biafra land, that that person is telling lies. On this very voice note, you are going to hear Simon Epka's voice on this threat. Listen.
You know, this is not the first time we did this. And how we are going to handle this issue is something that is in my mind, and it's something that's in my heart. I have given directive.
He has given directive to one of the commanders in this very meeting, and also another commander that is not in this very meeting, both of them to go to Ebonyi State and disarm the Eastern Security Network of Ebonyi State commander. Listen.
Because they need it to work. So when he comes to pick it, just please give it to him. Do you have a problem with that?
You can hear the question that he asked him if he has a problem surrendering his equipment in his position, that he's supposed to use that to protect himself. And he responded to Simon Epka and said that he has a problem with that because immediately Simon Epka interrupted him and said, "What is the problem that you have?" And the commander responded and said to him that I told you that I want to use it to protect our side, our area, because of more attacks.
And I'm telling you now that that work should be put on hold. There is another emergency work that is needed for, and that's a command. So you should put on hold that work that you want to go should be put on hold. And after this work, we can talk about that.
And then the commander of Ebonyi State responded and said to him, "Sir, it will be difficult for me because I will not lie to you. More especially now that we have an attack." And then Simon Epka interrupted him again and said, What is going to be difficult for you? I want you to listen so that you will not say that Mazi Odinkema is making this up. You will not say that Mazi Odinkema is cutting and joining. Because what we are here to do is to naked the truth for people and the Biafran to hear that Simon Epka is causing imminent war against the Eastern Security Network using the ESN fund that every Biafrans are contributing to make sure that our land are being protected. He uses this money as a weapon against the ESN, undercutting the command structure of Uganda. He himself said that he is a disciple of Wenyen Mazi Nnamdi. Listen, so that you will not say that I'm making it up. Where we are is where Simon Epka said, what is going to be difficult for you? I want you to listen to yourself.
What is going to be difficult for you?
You listen to that, right? And the commander responded and said, I told you that I want to use it to protect our area, our side, because of more attack. And then again, Simon Epka interrupted again and said, and I'm telling you now that your area should be put on hold. There is a better and there is another emergency work that is needed to be done. This is
And we're making fundraising. No? We are making fundraising 2 times in a month. We are making fundraising, right? People are donating Monday $50,000, Monday $30,000, Monday $10,000. People are donating money. So the question that you are going to ask yourself is this: where is those money? That is a question that some of you zombies are going to ask yourself. That is a question some of you zombies are going to ask yourself. A commander that just complained he lost his men on the attack that they received. Am I correct? And they still need to prepare. Simon does not care about the people that are fallen, the fallen heroes. He doesn't care. What he cares about is to disarm this very command. So he does not care. So if anybody is telling you that he is going to bring Biafra in 2023, or that he's fighting this very struggle, in truth and honesty, that is a typical lie. That is why I said to him, focus on your media. If you still want to maintain that 20% grace, if at all it reaches up to that 20% grace, if at all it reaches, if at all Nick can with 20% grace in you, if at all you still have 20% grace in you, use that to focus on media against Nigerian government, to see if you can be able to liberate yourself. To see if you can be able to liberate yourself. If you see this truth will be sinking, and whatever I said, my own analysis, what I saw then, it doesn't take time, those things will begin to manifest. So, and I'm telling you now, this is a prophecy that 20% grace, if at all you still have 20% grace, use that 20% to focus on media. Forget about anything Eastern Security Network. Because the money that you are raising, you uses those money to corrupt gallant men, for them to be fighting one another, for them to be intimidating a fellow commander that they swore an oath in order to protect our land. Using that money to go and be bribing unit commanders in order to weaken the state command. Is that what person that called himself the disciple of Onye Ndumazi should be doing? I'm not here to preach you for you to love me. I'm here to tell you the truth. Some of you zombies that are going to watch this very, because I call you zombies. I call you, you know, I'm actually. Let's continue listening to this. Let's continue listening to this. You're looking for evidence. I have not started though. I have not started. Maka name my own negosigi enough nanya. Name negosigi enough nanya. Ikweta no name. My own exposition. If I'll be showing you evidence. My own analysis is a prophet. Is a analyze or name. I've received so many messages. People asking me to mellow down on the way that I analyze things, because I use that to expose. Sometimes I say, should I just forget about this media? But what can I do? Then I need to begin to at least calm myself down to begin. Sometimes when I want to say some things like this, you know, I have to just forget about those ones, begin to control and to manage myself, manage the ability that God gives me. That's why I say, if I'm doing my own exposition, I'll be showing you, you'll be seeing it. I know there for that one. Because this very program right now, I'm not going to do it again. This very program now, I'm not going. I might make a reference. I might make a reference on this very program that I'm doing right now. Maybe make a reference, bring out the audio and play it. But to bring out time to do exposition like this again. Oh, let's continue.
A person that is leading fundraising every 2 weeks, started from every month, now every 2 weeks, fundraising, using that money as a weapon against the Eastern Security Network. As God uses me to expose the DOS, Chinas and Woru, and uses Simon Epka to finish the job, so also I am going to use the truth to expose the atrocities Simon Epka is committing in Biafra land.
And I'm telling you, I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time.
Do you listen to that? We are coming. You are going to listen more of Simon Epka's voice.
I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. And I'm telling you, I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. I gave you that one. I am the one. Listen to me. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. Don't let me angry, please. You know you have been doing this for a very long time. I am the one who gave you that command, right? And I'm telling you now that that particular work must be put on hold until this one finishes. There shouldn't be any question there. I gave you that command. And I'm telling you now that that command is now suspended.
The commander of Ebonyi State's Eastern Security Network responded again and said, it will be difficult for us to protect our land, our area, sir. Now listen to what Simon Epka said.
If you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because
Let me play that again. Maybe some of you are deaf, or maybe you don't understand what a word of English or word of threatening. And like I said, this very meeting, there were other commanders. So whenever you see a voice note coming from a gallant man or gallant man of the Eastern Security Network threatening a fellow gallant man or gallant man, this is where it started. Let me rewind that again so that you can be able to hear.
if you go against this command, if you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, listen to me. If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because I am.
Did you listen to that? Let me take it back again.
If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because I am making this publicly here in front of every commander here.
Did you listen to that? He is making this public in front of every commander here. Maybe some of you are deaf. Maybe some of you chilono. Onada anizive. Monada anuzo yibo. Mobe ejive fochie onu nte. If you go against this command, Simon Epka is planning to disarm a whole state commander of ESN Security Network. Pay attention.
If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because I am making this publicly here in front of every commander here. I gave you a command and I'm telling you, if you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because I am making this publicly here in front of every commander here. If you go against this command, I hope you are ready to take what is coming with you. Because I am making this publicly here in front of every commander here.
Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said again. That after a particular job, then they are going to discuss if he is going to get his equipment back. I want you to pay very good attention. After, and he does not know when he said this. Because you can hear when he said, "Do not make me angry." I don't want to mention any commander's name here. Do not make me angry. And because of that emotion, he cannot be able to be saying things that he has in his heart. Those things that he said, that the way they are going to handle it, it is in his heart and in his mind. These are the things that he is now bringing out. So imagine what other things that is deep inside his heart that he has. Pay attention.
After that job, you can talk about your own job, that if I have to give that job again. After that job, you can talk about your own job, that if I have to give that job again. That is a very clear command. So if you want to disobey that command, you can disobey it. I just want to make it very clear now in front of everybody. After that job, you can talk about your own job, that if I have to give that job again. That is a very clear command. So if you want to disobey that command, you can disobey it. I just want to make it very clear now in front of everybody.
Share this very program. Send it to some of these zombies. Persuade them. Some of the haters of the truth. Persuade them to listen to this very program. It is not long, just about 1 hour. Let them listen to that. Maybe they will come out with an argument. I still remember Azod in Keman Kendelum Wachineke, bona fide active member of IPOB, and also an active financial member as well, serving the indigenous people of Biafra through media, evangelist, and also in music. And I still remain the second disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am not going to take the first, even if the person that claimed to be the first disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fall apart. Later, another person take that very position. I am contented with what I have. Shalom.
Yes, my brother. Okay, boy, that thing it's like we are saying almost the same thing, you know. Yeah, that thing man. Biafra I know on the outside as well Biafra. They could have achieved it long time. They could have gotten it, you know, because why? They are united. So quite the same thing when I maybe na here again when she the reason why I want you know yeah, you know, so I would the problem, you know, so engineer suggests another way follow these people, you know, quite a lot of things, you know, maga pop down with that man from them, you know, yeah, because the situation, the truth is there that now I know where that man will quick at the end of the day. I want to have mother n'ime there, you know, because this people they don't care, my brother, you know, and they are other Kurundia. How are they go the 100% sure? I may news tomorrow and I walk him out. We'll go and work where Hindi will get me. They know that, my brother. Now, they are aware of that, you know. So all I with the team, make news tomorrow. Now, so bad noise here on the bone and make it can make it. Where they can't do nothing, my brother, you know. Yeah, they can't do nothing. So I have a problem, you know. So before they right now they know us. Some of us got Abuja. You understand me? They went to Abuja there and they take money. They go back to their home. You know, so I have a problem. And in there now they make him on their weak point. You know, man, these people are united. And any has some money, they will just change automatically. So I have a problem. So that is why. And when they got maybe now we are giving up. We are not giving up, my brother. But all the only solution, as I'm seeing, you know, but I don't know, my brother, you know. Yeah, all the only solution because most of the people questioning Aga or go Biafra, man, they are not willing to do that. You know, they are living large and doing their things. You know, Biafra is not for them. So that is the problem, you know. Look at the Cameroon and also Abazone, you know, these people. All people now sponsor, you put them everywhere. You know, they put them everywhere. Even some of them, they are my friends.
The freedom fighters.